Last Friday, Once Lost Games shared a significant update on the Wayward Realms. They've officially moved from Unreal Engine and are now building their own in-house technology, the Realm Engine. That's not a small decision. Unreal is one of the most widely used engines in the industry. Walking away from it raises questions, and it should. But after sitting with the devlog for a few days, what stood out to me wasn't instability, it was direction. Because this update wasn't about graphics, it was about systems, and that difference matters. The chain was pretty direct. Unreal wasn't the right fit for the type of game they were building. Rather than scaling the vision back, they decided to build technology around it. That's ambitious and maybe even a little risky, but it also tells us something. The Realm Engine isn't trying to be a better looking engine. It's trying to be a better simulation engine. And if you've been following this project for a while, that tracks. One of the first things shown by Kai, the technical director, was their internal world editor. The archipelago is supposed to span around 500,000 square kilometers. In the demo, we saw tiles edited in real time, biomes painted across terrain, civilization layers dropped in dynamically, and surprisingly fast load times. It didn't look polished, that wasn't the point. What we were seeing was infrastructure. But the moment that really caught my attention was when Kai zoomed out from Ijar, the early access island, and just kept zooming. And then the entire archipelago was there. Running. Loaded. Not a static map, not a concept screen. The whole thing active inside the editor. I'll be honest, that's when my jaw dropped. Because scale is easy to talk about. It's even harder to demonstrate. And seeing the world exist beyond just the starting island made the ambition feel real. This kind of tooling is built for simulation first, and that's important. Then, there's the NPC simulation system. This is where things become even more interesting. They're using GPU-based processing to handle extremely large numbers of NPCs, storing personal data in a way that allows parallel updates. In practical terms, that means the world keeps moving even when you're not there. Rumors spread, information travels, NPCs interact with one another in the background. That's not visual flair, that's core design philosophy. And according to the team, this is something that they really struggled to fully implement within Unreal. The quest example they walked through was simple on the surface. A merchant, some wolves, a shipment. But underneath it was a graph database, connecting NPCs, locations, and events. If something changes in the world before you arrive, the outcome changes. If thieves hear about valuable cargo, they may intervene. If you wait too long, someone else might get there first. This isn't static quest scripting. This is systemic interaction. And if it works at scale, it could create dramatically different experiences for players or different characters. They also showed what they're calling the infinite dialogue system. But this isn't generative AI inventing lore on the fly. It's structured, data translated into varied expression. The core information stays the same. The phrasing shifts. That avoids repetition without losing narrative control. Again, not flashy, but thoughtful. One of the more surprising elements was how open the architecture appears to be. Script access, database access, blueprint-style tools, editable assets. They're not just building a world, they're exposing its structure. For a game clearly inspired by the legacy of Daggerfall, that feels intentional. Now, none of this is easy. Custom engines are hard. Tooling takes time. Optimization takes time. Integration takes time. There are still open questions. But what we've seen isn't empty ambition. It's groundwork. And ambitious simulation games live or die on their groundwork. If you remember Daggerfall, it wasn't the visuals that people still talk about. It was the systems, the scale, the sense that the world existed beyond you. If the Realm Engine delivers on what was outlined here, persistent simulation, reactive quests, large-scale world infrastructure, then this pivot may be one of the most important decisions they've made. It's early, it's ambitious, but for the first time in a while, the technical direction feels aligned with the promise. And as someone who genuinely wants to play this game, that's encouraging. We'll keep watching, and before we all set sail for the archipelago, I will be streaming Daggerfall Unity starting this Saturday and every weekend after, both on Twitch and here on YouTube simultaneously until we get early access. And I hope you would join me. Even if you don't, go with God and game on.